Hello, I would like to thank you for giving my team the opportunity to bid your project. I'm Zach Winstra, representing Keen Action Construction as their project manager.
I'm Logan Neeson, representing Keen Action Construction as the quality control lead.
I am Evan Myers, representing Keen Action Construction as their lead estimator.
I'm John Beyer, representing Keen Action Construction as our safety director. And together, we represent the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. To start out this presentation, I'd like to, I apologize. Start out this presentation, I'd like to outline the key management personnel that are with us here today. To start out is our project executive, Colton Irvin. Following him is our project manager, Zach Winstra. Following him is our lead estimator, Evan Myers. Following him is myself, our safety director. Next is our CQC lead, Logan Neeson. Following him is our project superintendent, Matt Peterson. Excuse me.
Keen Action Construction was founded in 1957. That gives us 65 years of industry experience. We've been proudly employee-owned since 1973 with over 5,600 employees and a main office located in Cedar Park, Texas. We are proud to say that we've been ranked top 10 on ABC's top 400 contractors list the last 3 years. And all of our employees follow our 5 core values of safety, quality, integrity, technology, and diversity. We have completed many projects in this area with a similar scope, a few of these projects being the Bracken Ridge Campus Tower, the Epic Deep Ellum, the University of Texas at Austin East Campus Parking Garage. We are proud to say we are LEED Gold certified with a 15% MWD VBE participation, and we are safety focused with a 0.61 EMR rating and an ABC Diamond Step accreditation.
So to dive here into our project estimate here, our initial estimate total came to $41.8 million. So to dive into some of those cost items here, our concrete was self-performed, which came to $15.3 million. So our MEP total was our next big number here. So MEP total came to $6.3 million. So our 3 big MEP totals came to, for mechanical, we got $2.6 million, electrical we have $2.9 million, and plumbing we have $730,000. For general conditions, we came to $4.6 million. Earthwork, we came to $2.3 million. And shoring, we were at $1.7 million. And lastly, we are at glazing at $1.6 million. Our proposed addendum total was $44 million. To talk a little bit about our CM with the difference in the different scopes with this project, we decided that 3% was adequate for this project.
Some of our project sequencing regarding the completion dates in our proposed schedule is the notice to proceed on April of 2023, our earthwork in December of 2023, our complete underground structure in May of 2023, our complete above ground structure in September of 23, our exterior enclosure in December of 23, our permanent power in February of 23, our interior build-out in February of 24, our complete final inspection and testing in February of 24, our substantial completion in March of 24, which leaves us with the final completion date on March 25th of 2024. As you all know, over the past few years, some of the biggest issues within the construction industry have been supply chain conflicts. What sets Keen Action Construction apart from other general contractors is that we have the ability to self-bond our own projects, our office location, our material coordinator, and our on-time delivery system. Being able to self-bond our own projects gives us the opportunity to purchase material with high lead times ahead of schedule, which will help minimize risk with material shortage, being able to purchase it earlier on, as well as material delay. With our office location being within 30 minutes of the 701 Rio project, allows us to be able to have storage space 30 minutes away, which gives us easy delivery methods. With our material coordinator being on site, this allows him to work closely with our subcontractors along with Keen Action employees. This will allow him to use our on-time delivery system to its fullest extent. Looking at our material layout plan, you can see that we have site storage in the northeast corner of the 701 Rio project. This will allow subcontractors as well as Keen Action employees easy access to all material stored on site once the parking garage is finished. We also have our tower crane located towards the southwest corner of the project. Our tower crane has a radius of 120 feet. This will allow us to hit every corner of the 701 Rio project as well as the 707 building north of the project. You can also see that we have our support crane on the southwest corner below the building. We will be using the support crane for erection of the tower crane, disassembly of the tower crane, as well as any scopes of work needed. We also have a material hoist on the west bottom corner on the presentation. This will allow all subcontractors and Keen Action employees to get material to any floor of the building upon completion. Looking at our excavation laydown plan, you can see that we will be excavating all material out of the southwest corner of the job. This will allow easy access for heavy equipment to get in and out of our site location with the heavy traffic we have in downtown Austin. We also have our portable filtration basin on the west side of the building. This will allow us to minimize risk with flooding as well as high water tables.
At Keen Action Construction, we pride ourselves on our quality control team. We offer a quality control awards program where employees can earn up to 1% of their annual salary. We also offer a 1-year warranty on all of our self-performed work, and we use cutting-edge technology such as Procore to manage all aspects of the project.
To dive into the safety portion of this presentation, I'd like to cover our hoisting and crane plan. With the amount of materials being hoisted, it is essential for the safety of others to have a dedicated rigging plan and procedure. To cover some of the main points on this slide, knowing the load weight and load configuration for required rigging, verifying all components of rigging are labeled with capacity ratings, as well as any questions to be directed to the site safety director, myself, as well as any other qualified riggers. After reviewing the RFQ, we have determined that the curtain wall installation is a potential hazard on this project. With that, we have developed an activity hazard analysis plan. I want to make it clear that this plan is a fluid document and can be changed. It is designed to mitigate risk on the job site, as well as, is designed to mitigate risk on this job site. Our emergency action plan is designed for all qualified people. It outlines the roles and responsibilities of any involved personnel. With that, the reporting methods. In extreme emergencies, the closest individual should call authorities immediately. In a lesser emergency, the closest individual should contact the safety manager. In the event of an evacuation, we have a 3-ring alarm system that can be heard from all points on the job site. All employees should meet at our designated meeting areas located on Rio Grande Street as well as West 7th Street.
So thank you again for letting us propose a bid for the 701 Rio project. To talk about our proposal just a little bit more, to summarize everything, our initial price came to $41.8 million. With the proposed addendum total, it came to $44 million. Our date of completion stayed the same at March 25th, 2024. And we are proud to announce that we are an ABC Diamond Step accreditation. We also have a 0.6 EMR rating, and we are ranked top 10 in the ABC 400 contractors list the last 3 years. We are Keen Action Construction, and we are keen to take action on this project.
It's now open for questioning.
I have a question over here. Let's say for some reason one of your subcontractors underperformed for labor reasons, supply chain reasons, COVID reasons, and delayed your project for about a month. As a project manager, that's a question for you, Zach. What would be the actions you would take with that subcontractor? And what would be your plan to recoup that month to get back on track so you don't delay the delivery of the project? Thank you.
With our quality control process, we will be testing and inspecting all material on site that is installed on a daily basis accordingly. With that, we'll be able to see early on if they're not performing to the quality expected. With that, we will start contracting subcontractors in the area or some of our main subcontractors that we use throughout the country. And we would start interviewing them, giving them the specs, having them read it over, and having them bid on the project to be able to have another subcontractor in there as soon as possible to make sure that we hit our highest quality.
Good afternoon. So as you know, procurement's a big deal, very long lead times, especially with electrical equipment, right? You have a piece of switchgear on this job that could be up to 20 weeks, maybe 30 weeks delayed. I was wondering if you could tell me what size that piece of switchgear is and how you intend to mitigate those long lead times for that piece of equipment.
So to talk a little bit about that, so we are a self-bonded job. So we're able to purchase some of those materials ahead of time. So we're going to try to talk to our subcontractors to figure out some of those higher lead items for this job. And we could either store them in our facility or a subcontractor will store them in their facility, and that is stated in our plans that we are trying to keep this job on time because of the costs of operation per month to extend the job.
I have a question. You mentioned in the quality section, it looked like an incentive program with 1% of the salary going back to the individuals. Can you explain that incentive program a little bit more?
Yes. So how our quality incentive program works is it's for all of our quality control employees involved on the job site, and if they are maintaining the quality that exceeds our expectations, it is on a per job basis, and they will receive that at the end of the year on top of their salary.
Follow-up question, does the owner get charged for it?
No.
Evan, this is a question for you. With the current marketplace and all the escalation we've been seeing, this budget was developed over a year ago. What is your plan to keep this project in budget as you start to move into buyout if you're awarded the project?
So kind of like we talked about earlier with supply chain management, we are self-bonded. So the bigger items, so that curtain wall, because there's metal in there and the little bit of structural steel that we have, as well as the metal staircases, we're going to order ahead of time and either store in our heated facility or store in the subcontracted heated facility. We have seen steel has been a big issue, especially with hollow metal doors, any structural steel, or even curtain wall like that. And like pointed out earlier, there was some issues with some MEP stuff, so we're going to try to coordinate with our subcontractors to find out what those items are and stay on top of it. And that's why we have a designated material coordinator.
So as the developer and owner, I'm really looking to sign you guys up to a GMP and confidence that you guys can complete it within a budget and on time. And so some of your CNAs make me a little nervous of that. You guys are indicating you're not responsible for possible labor shortages, extended material lead times are not in your schedule, things of that nature. What, just so I can get confidence that if I execute a GMP with you guys that we can finish at a GMP and on a schedule, what kind of things would you do to work with me as the owner to mitigate some of that?
One of those big risks you mentioned was labor shortage. Keen Action Construction actually has industry partners throughout the country that we are on a system of helping each other out, especially in today's world. Not all construction companies are able to get qualified laborers. So with that, they obviously want to keep their good employees, right? They can subcontract their employees out to us, which will highly mitigate that risk, along with keeping us with quality employees to make sure that we keep our quality high on this project.
One more question. I am also trying to understand another item in your CNAs. I'm just going to read it, and I'm going to ask you to explain it. It says the full amount of the dividend percentage from the bond will be awarded to Keen Action Construction after the project. Can you help me understand what that means?
Yeah, so in Texas, there's actually a dividend given out at the end of a project for the bonding rate. So I believe it is 20%. And typically that is seen to be given to the contractor after the project, and that's how we are assuming it in the clarifications and assumptions.
Hi,
While
good
we're on
morning. So you guys are elaborating on your slide here that you guys started hitting the top 10 of ABC starting in 2019. What did you guys start doing different in 2019 that you think got you into the top 10?
So we really started focusing on our safety, and safety wasn't, I mean, it was a huge part of our program, but we tried to focus a lot more on safety with just evolving issues with everything like that, and quality was a huge part of that. We wanted to get a quality person there almost every day, even if it was for half the day, to make sure everything was up to our standard. And we tried to increase our standards. And for mostly it was our subcontractors to make sure they're on what is spec'd out in the job is our biggest priority that we kind of changed up in our plans there.
To elaborate on that, during our morning foreman meetings on each of our projects, we highly encourage all foremen and superintendents, which they do it on their own without even needing to be asked, which is a great quality of Keen Action Construction, to highly emphasize being able to take 4 seconds before making an action, being able to think before each little project that you're doing, just to make sure that everything is safe. You are always tied off. All those things that people all those things that seem to slip people's minds on a daily basis, we encourage everyone to take the time to think about it before each action.
Related to cost, we're certainly conscious of the budget and making sure that this project pencils in the pro forma. That being said, you're in currently at a 3% fee. Is that something you'd be willing to reduce or give back to the job?
That's something that we could talk about. With the mitigated risks on this project being such a tight schedule, or not tight schedule, a tight project in downtown Austin, it reflects a lot on job security as well as being able to hoist stuff into this job, which adds a huge risk for us, respectively. And then also there is that historical building on the west or the east side of the 701 project, which is within close distance, so we have to monitor that on extreme procedures to make sure there is nothing done to that historical building.
So one additional item related to cost. I see you guys have included 3% escalations within several of the scopes here. So I guess my question is, assuming that, and when you guys go through buyout, and if you don't necessarily see that full escalation, would that savings come back to the owner?
Yes, that savings actually comes right back to the owner if we don't see that. The reason why it's only 3% is because of those high cost items. We'll need a little bit of time to purchase those because it takes a little bit of time to get those going through after the contract is signed. That is the reason why there's a 3%, and that'll be back awarded to the owner after the project is completed if there is not used.
Would you please walk me through your action plan if you came across an unforeseen condition that might cost some money? What's the safety net you have in place? What's your action plan? What are the steps you would take to inform the parties involved and so on and so forth? Thank you.
Yeah, so with our action plan, the first step would be evaluating the situation, seeing if possible if we could fix any damages that did occur. Second would be to inform all parties of the situation and address accordingly.
So I have a question. Your site utilization plan didn't indicate a location for a pump truck. What is your firm's plan on how you're going to convey concrete on this building?
So for concrete, we plan on using a 63-meter crane pump for that, and it'll move around the job depending on which part is being pumped that day because we have it split up into different sections. But for the most part, it'll be on that 701 Rio Street on the southern part of that building.
So a 63-meter pump is a pretty big pump. Have you taken a look at the footprint of that pump and how that affects your traffic control plan?
Yes, so we have taken a look at that, and we do have days built in to notify the city of Austin to close down the road if needed. We assume that there will be plenty of room adequate for the pump there in that location.
Now, and are those additional traffic control costs included in your bid?
Yes, that is included in general conditions.
Okay.
All right, well, that brings us to the close of our scheduled time. So appreciate all your efforts in responding to our RFP and taking an interest in our project. Thank you for the presentation you put together today. We'll be reaching out shortly with any additional questions. So thank you.
Thank you.